The brain learns through emotional prediction. Lisa Feldman Barrett has some great talks on how emotions are actually predictions. They're not reactions, they're predictions. So our brain, our limbic system, is constantly anticipating what's safe, what's dangerous, and how to respond to all of that. The emotional memories that we have drive these automatic responses. I mean, that's the purpose of emotion, is so we don't have to think. We don't have to think which way to jump when a car is coming at us. We just go. So the emotional memory drives us to go into these coping strategies that we developed early on. So the way out of that, the way to create lasting change then, is to then help the nervous system to safely update those predictions. So talking about the past again is useful, but it's new experiences that really show the brain how to respond differently to these sorts of things. So again, I just want to emphasize, talking about the past doesn't rewrite it. It's the new experiences that do that. So now I'm going to go into memory reconsolidation, and this is the key piece here. And I certainly would encourage you to do a little bit more exploring on memory reconsolidation. But if you want to have real practice at integrating that, then I would refer you to my course that I'll be talking to you about in just a little bit. But memory reconsolidation is the central mechanism that the brain utilizes for updating change. And these steps are, number one is that we reactivate an old emotional memory. We have in a session, have our client recall or talk or describe a difficult circumstance they went through or examples of triggering. We then introduce a new contradictory experience in an atmosphere of safety. And so in a session, that means inducing some sort of state of calm or relaxation through either focused relaxation exercise, or more frequently just by using eye movements. Back and forth eye movements are very effective at inducing a state of calm. You may find that you need to use music or other means to help induce that state of calm in your client. And you're going to use the SUD scale. What number of stress are you experiencing right now? And clients will start out at 6 or 7 or 8. And you need to guide them through this focused relaxation process to help bring down that arousal to, as much as it can, 4, 3, 2. You're not really pushing your client, but you're getting them to recognize there's a difference here. So while they are in a more relaxed state, that's providing them a contradictory experience. Another way that we provide that contradictory experience is through what's called re-scripting. And once we achieve a desensitization of a target memory through repetitive review and always going back to grounding, we gradually desensitize our client to this target memory, and then we can introduce a new scenario, a new interpretation. And that new interpretation is oftentimes introduced through re-scripting. And this is a very common technique in working with nightmares and helping people to overcome nightmares, is to reimagine the nightmare occurring in a different way, reimagine yourself handling it in a different way. And when you do that in a way that really feels felt and real, your body does register a shift, and that shift then gets rewritten over the old emotional learning. The old emotional learning is actually extinguished, it's gone, and a new learning is established in its place. And that rewriting, that updating is important. It's not enough to acknowledge, oh wow, that was really tough, what you went through, but it's more important to go through and imagine, how would you rather feel about that? Let's help you experience that, so your body really integrates that well into your nervous system. So that's part of it here. Safety, very important. Attunement, very important. So you're with your client, whether it's in telehealth or whether it's in person, you're paying attention, you're watching the body language, you're listening to the tone of voice, you're responding to your client. If your client is elevated and having a wonderful insight about themselves, you can cheer them on. If they're describing something that's really difficult and awful, you can briefly acknowledge, wow, that was really hard. But you're not really going into the weeds around that, because that's not how memory gets updated. You're not encouraging your client to rehash the story. You're encouraging your client to feel differently about the story, and you're guiding them through that process in a safe way.